And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When common decency between two parties cannot solve a dispute, Community Court is there to solve the problem.
All rise for the most Honorable Judge Kenneth Vicarro.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, golly. A little congested. I think I had some chicken noodle soup, and I think there's too much broth. Oh, and right on cue, there's Junior. Yep, say hello to the courtroom, Junior. All right. Well, we got this case I'm not totally familiar, but a friend tried to explain to me some of the ins and outs. Maybe we can work out the details as we go along. We have our plaintiff, Mr. Sean John.
Hey.
No relation to the Puff Daddy figure, is that correct?
No. No relation to Sean White either.
Oh, all right.
Or Sean Colvin.
Well, I don't think anybody assumes that just because your name is Sean.
You would be shocked how often I get that, Your Honor.
Well, I think the Sean White has more to do with your red hair and pasty complexion more than. I'm sorry, that was.
No, it's okay. I don't get in the sun a lot.
Well, you shouldn't, not with whatever melanin's going on over there. Yeah, Junior, I know, Junior, I'm getting to it, all right? I'm the boss. I'm your dad, all right? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, who's your daddy?
All right, that's no.
Sorry.
Out of order. Defendant today is Miss Danielle Shapiro from Twitter. I'm sorry, Tinder.
Yeah, that's right. I'm from Tinder.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Now, what are those different, or are those like two names for the same thing?
Your Honor, you must not be up with your social media vernacular. Of course, that's two different things. Twitter is tweeting stuff. Tinder's, kind of getting people together.
Right.
In theory.
Sorry?
In theory. Doesn't always work out that way.
In theory, right. That is that's why we're here today, isn't it, Mr. John?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you, in your statement, I'm reading here, you got a lot of like swipes?
Yeah.
What are like swipes?
Well, like swipes are the things that you do that, what happens in a Tinder is you can set a radius of where you want people to meet you. People in your area, like 10 miles, 1 mile, 100 miles, it don't matter. And then all of a sudden these pictures show up of people that are within people within your radius based on your GPS on your phone. And then if you see somebody, you just swipe.
What's a GPS?
Well, that's a global positioning system. That's how we track your cell phone signal where you is.
Long story short, Your Honor, it means I look good.
So at the end of the day...
GPS?
Yeah, well, no. What happens is you see the two pictures, and if I swipe a like to the right, or I don't like to the left, if I swipe a like, and the other person that sees my picture swipes a like too, then we connect and we start talking. Mm-hmm. You can figure some stuff out.
Oh, so this is like AOL Instant Messenger?
Well, kind of, except for it's a picture-based thing with a profile. It's almost like an instantaneous dating site.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to hold people back. People want to meet, they can meet here on Tinder.
Oh.
The AOL part is like phase 2. The first part is just, hey, I think this person looks good. I'm going to swipe them.
So you swipe them before you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's how we connect people. It's by people looking at each other. Let's get right to the nitty-gritty. If you look good and I think you look good, we're going to meet.
Oh, so it's kind of like Star Trek when they hail the other ship?
Yeah. Sure, if you want to go with that.
Well, I'm not.
That's a pretty nerdy way of putting it.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Judge, how does that go? Can you show that to me?
Well, it's just kind of like, I don't know the technology of it, but they say, hail the other ship, and then a picture, right? Mm-hmm. A video of the other, captain of the ship.
Mm-hmm. They appear and then they can talk.
Anyway, you weren't getting any like swipes, or?
Oh no, I was getting a lot of like swipes, but they weren't leading anywhere, and that's my problem.
People weren't talking to you?
I mean, we would talk, but then I wouldn't get to close the deal, as it were.
Close the deal.
Well,
is this also like a business, like a linked up?
It's human nature, Your Honor. You get two good-looking people together that like each other based on appearance. Things happen sometimes. And Mr. John here...
In theory, we're supposed to breed.
That's right.
Oh, you want to have kids?
Well,
let me recommend against it, buddy.
Well, I mean, I'm not... Looks like you got stuff...
No, Junior, I was not talking about you.
It sure sounded like you were a judge.
Well, I was, but don't tell Junior.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would like to enter into evidence my Tinder record here. As you can see, I have a 95% like swipe record.
Oh.
Yes, but my percentage of deal closings is only about 4. So,
well, hey, what are you complaining about?
I don't know what he's complaining about. What he's trying to say is that we owe him for all the money he spent on tequila shots and tacos and movies and stuff, and not getting his percentages of closing higher than 4%.
Yeah, and I would like to enter into evidence my financial records. These are my credit card statements for the past year and a half. And as you can see, over 80% of my monthly expenditures were to various clubs and bars around the city. And those total in excess of $184,075.
Golly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do, Mr. John? How can you afford all these tacos and club bangerangs or whatever you call them?
I'm an electrician. I'm very good at what I do.
All right.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Your Honor, he makes a lot of money, so I don't even know why he even wants to be reimbursed for this wild accusation. It is not our fault that this man's got no game to close the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mr. John, unless are you accusing Tinder?
Tinder. It's called Tinder.
Tinder. Oh man.
He's got the skills to pay the bills in the electrical world, but clearly not with the ladies.
Are you accusing Tinder of sabotaging you, or?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. They are setting me up for failure with the expectations of the women that they are connecting me with. And I think they owe me for my time and for my expenditures.
Why don't you? Junior.
You know, I have some electrical tape here with me if you need to, shut him down.
Well, if he acts up again, maybe.
Okay.
Why are you using this Tinder?
No E.
There's no E in Tinder?
No.
Tinder.
It's
Anyway,
Tinder.
why don't you just try the old-fashioned way? Why don't you ask a friend to set you up with somebody?
Well, clearly Mr. John doesn't have, like I said, the best social skills. Otherwise, $100,000 later, his percentages of closure should be a lot higher than 4%. Based on the national average. Your Honor, let me put into evidence right here. Let me show you what the national average is of sealing the deal is on Tinder. As you can see right here, in the little pie graph that I made for you, it's 96.4%. That's the closing average. And he's at 4%. So he's on the other side of that pie.
How are you collecting this data? Is there a survey or something?
Yeah, what we do is with the GPS, we track the phones. And if the phones get within 2 inches of each other, that means things is going good.
Wow. They're that accurate, these lasers.
Absolutely. We can even see if the phones is gyrating left and right, up and down, back and forth, which only validates our statistics even better.
Oh, man. This is worse than the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Nothing more patriotic than putting people together, Your Honor.
Hey, Miss Shapiro, what do you think of Mr. Sean John here?
He's a good-looking man over there.
Yeah, you know it.
Well, and you, Mr. John, what do you think of Miss Shapiro here?
Well, I mean, I'd get with that.
Yeah?
You know, I'd like swipe that one over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Oh. Well, Mr. John, I mean, that's some flattery right there. I only get like swiped once per person that looks on me on Tinder. I never had anybody like swipe me like 7 times like you just said.
That was a double entendre, Miss Shapiro.
Oh. That's even more sexy. The electrician knows what a double entendre is.
Well, I'm gonna...
Told you I'm the best.
I'm gonna let you two maybe settle this out of court.
That could be an interesting prospect there, Your Honor.
Do you like tequila shots?
Oh, I love tequila. I especially like the white tequila.
All right. Court dismissed.
Let's go live outside the courtroom to Wilford Taylor with post-trial thoughts from the plaintiff and defendant. Wilford?
Right. Well, I'm right here with Mr. Shunjun and as well as Miss Danielle Shapiro. You two, what's the word?
Well, I mean, I can't say as I'm not disappointed that I'm not getting reimbursed. But at the same time, you know, hey, I'm always ready for another chance, another shot. You know, that's one of the beautiful things about Tinder is you can just keep going, and you never know what's going to happen next.
Well, I have to say what's amazing is that he brought some limes and some salt to the courthouse along with white tequila. It was almost like fortuitous that it was supposed to go down like this. We're already 3 shots in, and I'm liking Mr. John even more as we're standing here.
I never leave home without it.
Well, all right. Looks like without the need for technology, these two are lighting up a romance with their own little Tinder.
The verdict has been made and the court of law has spoken. Tune in next week for another fascinating episode of Community Court.
When we'll be right back with another riveting episode of Truth and Justice, only on KZKO, The Vibe.